What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Legion on Zoom. The usual, the great, the honorable, the Chess.
The honorable. All right. And I am Miguel.
And I'm Rod. What's up? What's happening?
A lot of shit, man. Fucking in front of my fan. Hot as balls. The weather's crazy, but I'm alive, so I'm grateful. It'd be like that. But
happy Juneteenth.
Word. Happy Juneteenth. It's a fucking federal holiday.
Word.
We almost plowed into some fucking comic book related news without even mentioning such a brolic historic moment. And yeah, use the word brolic. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. Fucking like should have been obvious a long time ago that this should have been a federal holiday. What the fuck?
I know. Finally, it happened, and I think I've noticed. I think over the last 2 years, I think Colombia, our places where we have to say that, they recognized it and stuff like that. So it's interesting to see that finally now the fucking federal government recognized the whole damn thing. While at the same time, a lot of other states are banning like critical race theory and stuff like that to be taught in schools. So it's like, oh,
yeah, okay. What is that?
It's
critical race theory.
It's like the theory, or understanding like the history as well of like what race is in the United States and what it means and what it represents and the history behind it. And so basically the reason why you can celebrate Juneteenth, but you can't know what it's about,
That's
have
wild.
nothing about the history.
Okay, so I have a question. So do you think like if they taught critical race theory in the Marvel universe, they would include like the history of Wakanda and shit, like with the United States, and like would they be part of the critical race theory in the Marvel universe if it was taught in schools?
Oh, that's a very good point. I think so, but it would be different depending on if it's critical race theory and then depending how broad it gets, right? If it's focused within, because then it's all very different across different countries. But I do think they would incorporate Wakanda because to show you this is how it's fucking done.
Yeah, word, and I was asking that essentially because if people remember, they kind of glossed over it, I feel like, but the reason why in the Black Panther movie, Killmonger kind of hated Wakanda was because they stood by during slavery and let people get taken away and didn't do shit. That's what brought that up. So that'd be pretty interesting. But yeah, we digress like a motherfucker. All right, into some news. Fucking Batman can't eat no pussy on camera, man. What's going on with that?
He cannot. I really want to know what Rod thinks about this because this is related to the Harley Quinn show. We've talked about this. Rod specifically has been raving about this show a lot. It's a great fucking show. And we recently found out, I think it was one of the writers or some people involved in the show said that they had written a scene where Batman goes down on Catwoman and that the execs were like, no. And then technically quoting said, heroes don't do that. Like,
What?
Yeah, that's weird, man. And you know what? Now that it's out there, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a movement to release the cut, like the pussy cut or whatever you want to call it, like the cunnilingus cut. Like I'm down, man.
The cunnilingus.
And also, Batman, him and Barbara got it on in The Killing Joke.
I hate that. I fucking hate that. I hate that so much. Not because it's like I'm all for sex and superheroes. It's not even that. Bruce shouldn't fuck Barbara. Like not that relationship. And then
cock blocking Batman.
Oh yeah, because Bruce doesn't get enough ass as it is. Like the dude fucks at will. He fucks to keep up appearances. Like that's crazy if you think about that.
It's a duty for him. It's like fuck it. All right, gotta go get another model. Fuck it. You gotta make sure there's photos and stuff. People need to know this happened.
Where Tony's out here fucking trying to fuck everything he can in his suit, getting lit. Bruce is like, fuck. All right. How long has it been?
It's a facade for him.
Exactly. So it's like I'm not a fan of that. Like in certain aspects, he's horny as hell. Yet, not that heroes don't do that. Like I'm not with that shit. Of course they do. But the way they do it with Batman kind of makes no sense. Like he shouldn't have gotten it on with Barbara. But I'm all for this Catwoman eating vagina on rooftop shit. It's unsanitary, but I'm with it.
Wait, Catwoman's eating vagina on a rooftop?
No, he's eating Catwoman's vagina. Apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure. I can see Catwoman, swinging both ways. I don't know. I agree with Ches. I did not like then The Killing Joke. Batman hooked up with Batgirl. Barbara. For me, it always felt like, isn't he like almost a daughter? And in the animated series, like she dated Dick, right? Who's like a pseudo son of Bruce. And it's like it's weird. It's just like. And I think Batman is above that kind of drama stuff. I don't know. It'd be weird. But exactly. But they let that fucking happen. But they're like, on a fucking comedy, on a comedy show that's just ridiculous. It's fucking crazy that they're like, no, that's where we draw the line. Like, are you kidding me? Come on now. And saying DK because they're heroes don't do that, right? Like, you know, then are they really heroes then if they don't? Come on.
Now that the word is out, I feel like we're gonna get. I don't know. I think we're gonna get it. The fans, you know, they're weird legion, and now that they know that there is this cut of whatever going down, and they're gonna put the pressure on HBO Max.
And the obvious step that's coming, it's pun intended, consider what I'm about to say. Porn parodies are about to hit the roof in popularity. Because like, oh, heroes don't do that. Here's Black Widow in a gangbang, like, which is, I'm sure it's out there somewhere, some type of parody to that effect. Not that I would know in any way, shape, or form.
If you're listening to us right now on Spotify or anything, go to our YouTube and you'll see some wonderful cosplay porn right now here. Right now, enjoy. YouTube, don't ban us, don't take us off. You know, we do have Ches in the red lights, so it's perfect for the mood, the red light shit.
Facts, yeah, the fucking district. It's like a red light district in here. I was gonna try to make a transition of that red light district, but I can't. But I do know that the villain in the Kraven movie is epic as fuck. I haven't heard about this villain in a minute since the old school show on Fox Kids. It's gonna be Chameleon, right? Or it's rumored or confirmed?
It's still a rumor. It's a rumor that Chameleon's going to be the villain for the Kraven solo film, right? Which is like, I have mixed feelings. I'm excited to see the Chameleon. I think he's a very cool villain. And he has a big history with Spider-Man. But like, I would rather see him come out as a villain in a Spider-Man movie. Like, okay, Kraven, sure. I'm like, and also thinking like Kraven knows he doesn't really look like a chameleon, right? Like, why is he hunting him? Like, I don't know.
I think about that Boy George song. Come a chameleon.
Yes.
And shout out to Boy George during Pride Month.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of like the ultimate prey. I think they're playing this weird like alien versus predator shit. You know what I mean? It's like the ultimate hunter versus the ultimate prey. Who better than a sentient, you know, like human chameleon man to run from Kraven? Like, and they could twist it and wait. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be part of like the Spider-Man. There's no way this is like an isolated movie, right? That'd be stupid.
No.
At least the Venomverse.
Yeah. They're within that kind of. It's the Sony that owns, right? Sony, right? That owns these movies, and it's within that same universe. But
yeah,
there's still not full confirmation how much this connects to the MCU proper, and you know, Tom Holland, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I saw a headline on IG. It said, "What Tyrese confirms that Morbius is in the MCU." I'm like, first of all, why? What? Is Tyrese in Morbius?
Listen.
How does he know this?
I had the same thoughts. I'm glad you bring it up.
I consider any information from Tyrese as good as Feige.
As good as,
if not better. All right. Tyrese has his finger on the pulse. If he says Morbius is in the MCU, I'm gonna believe Tyrese. That's just how I roll.
All right, so he's actually in the movies. That's why. I was also like, what the fuck? I just Googled it. He is playing Simon Stroud.
That sounds familiar.
Who, right? Like, who I'm not sure who Simon Stroud is, but I'm about to do it. And
even if he wasn't in the movie, I would still believe him, though.
Oh, I think it's just like a cop.
I thought it was just a random commentary. He's in the cut. Like, yeah, it's in the MCU. I thought it was just like him commenting.
Wait. And even if he was in the cut, like, who was interviewing him about that? Why? Why did it end up in an article? Like, but
like, was he being interviewed for something specific, or was this like a TMZ kind of thing? They caught him walking down the street, and he's like, "Yo, hey, Morbius is in the MCU. Peace out."
That's how I imagined it. He's coming out of Applebee's.
They ask him for his thoughts on Morbius. Nah. But a quick side note: I give him props for the little push he did to be cast as Green Lantern a while back. You guys remember? He tried to be Jon Stewart and shit, I think.
Oh, I think so. I don't remember though.
I know Common did. Common was almost Green Lantern in Immortal Justice League mortal or immortal, whatever.
That would have been wavy. That would have been wavy. That's the movie we need.
Not anymore. I mean.
Yo, but speaking of movies that we need, we've been talking about the Flash movie, the Flashpoint movie. It's been fucking being, filmed already. It's on, they're on set, whatever, like on location. Actually, I think they're filming it, and the director's been teasing some shit, right? The biggest tease was a few weeks ago on National Donut Day. They showed us the Batman fucking logo, not just any Batman, fucking Michael Keaton's Batman. And what he just teased today, actually, fellas, today, brand spanking news, is Sasha Calle's Supergirl, her costume, her outfit, just the main part, right? The fucking ass, the chest.
Listen, man, as long as it's better than what the fuck we're getting on Superman and Lois, I'm okay with it.
You shut your mouth.
Better?
Yeah, but okay. I mean, anything could be better than that trash costume on that amazing show.
Oh,
so yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's trash.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like the show's lit, which we will be getting to that eventually, fans. You guys wait for our complete and total group treatment on the sleeper hit of the fucking season. But I think
right.
Hell yeah,
dude. Yeah, anything, and I'll take anything. I'll take anything they give me. I don't care. Like they set the bar so low because of Superman and Lois with the Superman costume that they could give me anything with Supergirl, and I'll take it. Because I believe, what was her name? Melissa Benoist, the Supergirl from the CW. Look at me getting names right. Her suit was valid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wasn't super great, but it was pretty valid. I liked it.
Yeah.
Anybody else see shades of Snyderverse in the design? Like I'll put that up now. Everyone looks kind of similar to Henry Cavill's S, like very textured and with like miniature. I don't know if it's Kryptonian patterns or not. It was on Henry Cavill's costume. I don't know about this one, but I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how she looks in the flesh. It would be great if she is from the Snyderverse, because for the deep cuts Snyderverse fans, we have an unanswered question with the original Kryptonian ship from Man of Steel that has an open capsule, and we don't know what happened. The other corpse was still there. We see it in Justice League and in Man of Steel, but we don't know what happened there. So it'd be cool if that movie could come and tie up some loose ends, because Ben Affleck is in it. So
I forgot about that. I was gonna say like, oh shit, but I'm like, I keep getting surprised every time I hear that.
No, yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because when I saw the image, it looks like Henry Cavill's fucking Superman suit, right? It has the same kind of texture. And you bring up a great point, exactly, because that they have that loose end, right? And we already have, right? We have fucking Ben Affleck, this Bruce Wayne coming back as Batman, and we have Ezra Miller as Flash, right? So it's already like, it's kind of hard. Like, they're going to have to acknowledge it somehow, right? We can't just fucking pretend like that never happened or something, unless it's the Flashpoint, right? And that's the whole point. But we'll see.
Dude, I feel like all parties involved have like 1 foot in and 1 foot out. As far as the executives go, because they still have a foot in the Snyderverse and a foot trying to get rid of it. Any money bet if this Flash movie makes money and they check the commentaries and people want the Snyderverse, they'll try to make another Man of Steel. If Henry Cavill sees that all this shit is up and popping, everything is going, the circus is still moving, he'll come back as Superman. Everyone is literally just playing a game of touch and go with the Snyderverse. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Except for Dwayne Johnson. He's like, yo, my movie.
Oh, no, facts.
Snyderverse. Period.
Yes.
No,
but facts. But I think.
Watch Warner Brothers try to tell him no.
Yeah, we're
just give him that eyebrow. The people's eyebrow.
Motherfucker, he'll buy Warner Brothers like it's in the Snyderverse. Like it's in there now because I'm in here inside you. That's how the conversation would go. But talking about things that I don't want to be inside of, we got some bad news. There's another fucking game for Marvel on the way. And the reason why I'm saying bad news, they set the bar so low with Avengers. I still haven't finished it yet. I keep saying I'm going to try it. You can go back and quote me from past episodes. I still haven't done it.
And
It's
you've been pressuring us to play it. I'm like, why, dude? There's so much other cool shit. Fuck that game.
We owe it to the fans to do a co-op experience as the Avengers.
I'm not gonna martyr myself for the fans. Sorry.
We owe it to the fans to tell them to stop. Do not get the game. Don't play it. We at least did that already. We already fucking, how much was it? $60 or something fucking to get it?
Yeah.
Nah, man. We don't make money off of the podcast. So that was just straight. We're in deficits right now.
Facts. We are literally all about $60 in the hole because of this podcast. Effectively because of buying Avengers.
Yeah, and I was surprised to hear you speak about it so negatively because, like, you've been trying to get us to play Marvel's Avengers a lot. You've been saying like it's not that bad, guys. Like, you know, this and that, you know. But because now they're making the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy version. I don't know if you guys saw the fucking video of it. I saw images. Yeah, it looks the same. And then what's even worse, maybe, I don't know, it's like, because also you're supposedly only playing as Star-Lord, so it's not really even a Guardians of the Galaxy game, it's a Star-Lord game, you know, with supporting
so it's like
cast.
Kingdom Hearts, and they just follow you around like your friends.
And then yes, what bothers me about this whole shit is like, if this game sucks, which it might, is like, Square Enix, why'd you guys let them do that? Was it because you guys needed the money? They just let them call the shots and they're not game makers? You know what I mean? It's kind of like, what company made the Avengers game? Was it also Square Enix?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, how does that company allow that game? Like, there's no way they thought that game was good.
And it's a mix of studios too, because it's like Square Enix is the publisher, and the developers for like Marvel's Avengers was a mix of Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, and some other ones, you know, just Nix's Software, Crystal Northwest, Eidos Interactive. And from some of those are the same ones involved in Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's like, you guys are not making me hopeful that this game will be better, that you learn from, you know, it's like, especially with how quickly they're coming out, like they haven't even released all the DLCs for Marvel's Avengers, which supposedly, right, that the Black Panther one is going to be the one that makes the game good, or like when they get released Spider-Man, that's what's going to make it good. And now they're like, you know what, fuck that, let's just do this new game instead. Just get distracted with that.
And they also use the I Need a Hero. That's my second song of the day, people. I heard that song 3 times, right? It was in
I was just thinking that universe. Too. Yeah.
It was in that Guardians of the Galaxy, and then again in Loki episode 2, which we'll dive into a little after La Noticia.
Bro, yo, Bonnie Tyler is fucking raking in the royalties if she's still alive.
I was gonna ask you, is she alive to get this money?
So that's why that is why I definitely followed up with that, because I have no idea.
We could Google it, but if you're out there listening, call us. Let us know if you're alive. Let us know that you're doing all right.
Maybe we had a hotline, like call us live. Bro, we should try that one day. I wonder if would anybody call, guys? Let us know.
Exactly.
Would you call us and talk to us?
We'll get Howard Stern fans and shit. And now there's some epicness out there in the streets. I hear rumbling. The Titans are coming. We're getting to season 3. The Titans are coming all over us, all over everybody. There's a lot of Titan come, and I can't wait. Guys, we got to watch the trailer for the fans. Let's do the damn thing. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Fuck yes.
And we're on our way.
The Zoom tube.
And let's go. Woo! Holy shit. Titan season 3. We're back. They're back. I'm in. I'm giving it like a 7.5 before I see it.
All right, that's fair.
And it's a 7.5 before you see anything, because you haven't seen the show at all.
No, I actually have seen this show. I've stated it before. I'm about to hit season 2. Like, I'm taking my time with it, but I have watched the fucking show.
Right. It's not the most impressive show, but there's Nightwing is in it, played by Brenton Thwaites, I think you pronounce his name, and he's awesome. And the whole cast is awesome. It's just the writing gets weak, typically mid-season, and it always starts really strong and then just kind of falters toward the end. But either way, we're getting the Red Hood this season. For the fans that don't know, that's Jason Todd. You know, he came back as a renegade, badass, motorcycle, angry dude, who was also an anti-hero, you know. So
anti-heroes are the shit.
We get Blackfire this season. For the Teen Titans fan, that's Starfire's sister.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I think especially like season 1, although it got weak after the halfway through it, it still stayed good though. I was still very hooked and entertained. And again, because a big thing, because in season 2, no, like season 2 started cool and then it got really fucking crappy, and then it just kind of ended like I don't like. And I think a big difference between season 1 and season 2 was that season 2 had a lot of shit going on. It was a big fucking story. We had fucking Connor Kent, right? The Superboy fucking being created and escaping and all that shit. We had Deathstroke. We had Deathstroke's son. His daughter also involved, right? And then Nightwing becoming Nightwing. There was and then the drug addiction stuff with Hawk and Dove. There was a lot going on. In season 1 was more, I felt it was a Dick Grayson story about he's Robin, and and then he meets the rest of the Titans again. They were friends before, and then they're kind of forming the team again because of Raven, and it's more of a focus. That's the story, and they're focused on them, and you kind of get glimpses into everything else. And that's why I think I liked it a lot, because it all revolves around them getting together to help Raven. And then obviously with Starfire appearing and all that kind of stuff, there's shit happening, right? But season 2 was just a lot. So I'm hoping that season 3 is just the story of Jason Todd. Like I don't really want them to start bringing in other shit like a lot. But apparently Scarecrow is a key person involved in the show. So I hope that's the key villain and that's it. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, they teased the Joker too. Maybe that's a flashback, or who knows?
I don't know, man. That shit seemed pretty recent because he had the costume on and like that shit was pretty wild.
Right. And fuck it. And that's the other thing that I'm hoping that they do that properly, because I at the end of season 2, where I was spoilers obviously, I guess for Chuz,
I don't care.
Is that Jason Todd quits the team basically, right? And then we find out that he's gonna become the Red Hood, and so it's like I hope they do him justice by beating him savagely to death, like in the comic books, to make him the Red Hood. I was worried that he was just going to choose to become that, and at least from what we saw, that fucking looks legit. Looks like in the comic books, right? With fucking Joker beating him with a fucking wrench. Not in some cabin, not in a crowbar, my bad. Yeah, crowbar, not in some warehouse in fucking Eastern Europe or something. But in like a carnival kind of thing, which is also very Joker-esque, and I'm with it.
Shit, dude. And fucking even before I started watching the show, just because of all the shit that you mentioned earlier, I always used to say, because you could just extrapolate without watching it, that the show is rushed. Because all the shit that you mentioned, the creation of Superboy, the creation of Nightwing, having Deathstroke, those are all super long, fleshed out, detailed storyline. They crammed that shit in 10 episodes. Like,
Dr. Light was also in season 2. The whole thing.
Whole thing. You know, it's funny. It's a guilty pleasure, though. I'm not gonna lie. I do look forward to that show every week. Just like, because it's a DC, it's a little cheesy, but better than the CW on average.
100%, yes.
I mean, on average, because now we have Superman and Lois.
Yeah, we're
they're way better than Superman and Lois is way better than that. But they're a whole other separate, unique thing, a unicorn. Fucking
indeed. Fucking, but a quick shout out to Titan season 1 though, just to fucking prove to Miguel that I saw it. My favorite scene from season 1 is when the Negative Man is cooking to AC/DC's Thunderstruck.
Oh, in the Doom Patrol episode.
Yeah, in the Doom Patrol episode.
Oh,
be precise as fuck. Fuck you.
You just Googled that. Fuck you.
Damn it. That's my precise Google search. But yeah, dude, I honestly cannot wait for season 3. Though, and to be honest, you guys keep saying that season 2 sucks, and I know I've always said that it seems rushed. I can't wait.
I didn't say it sucked.
I'm sure if we go back,
you
said something of this.
I've watched it like 3 times, bro.
I quote Rod fucking Martinez 2020 said this show sucks. That's what he said. I remember. We'll have
you guys heard,
and it was some Latinos that gave Nightwing his name. They get Es la ala azul. I was like, yeah, bro, bring that shit into it. I don't care if it was never part of canon. Represent.
And you guys
Speaking
heard that
of
correctly.
Latino pride, not to deviate too much, but I actually went to the movies today.
What?
To Magic Johnson
Wait,
AMC.
What?
Bro, I hadn't been to the movies. What was the last fucking Joker before? What was the last movie before like quarantine? Like the last superhero flick.
I think
I don't
Joker.
know.
No, it was
Yeah.
Birds of Prey. I think it was. Anyway, I'll look back.
No, I saw Birds
But
of Prey not in the theaters.
Yeah, but what
I
did you
did,
see
though.
though? This is
I
gonna.
saw In the Heights.
Whoa!
Right?
Oh, in the
wait,
theater?
I'm
Lin-Manuel
not-
Miranda's fucking
Contemporary
art.
epic.
It's
his
a
musical.
love letter. It's a love letter to my neighborhood, Washington Heights here in New York City. Granted, it's a musical, so it's loud, it's in your face, but it has really good. Again, I don't know, fucking reviewing In the Heights. Have you guys seen it?
Of course. Of course.
I
saw
know.
this shit on Broadway,
I haven't
too.
seen it yet. I was actually. I think we're
Bro,
planning on
this
watching
is
it
the
this
neighborhood
weekend.
that welcomed you.
Facts.
Hell yeah! The In the Heights, yo, it's in my fucking heart, man. Just
Hell
yeah.
yeah,
The
no, I love
musical?
Heights.
The musical was fucking mind blowing, dude. I saw that shit twice. That's how good that shit was.
Like
And
the movie,
each-
you saw the movie twice, yeah?
No.
Or-
I saw the In the Heights was first a musical.
Yeah,
on
I know. So
Broadway.
you saw the actual musical?
Yeah, I saw the actual musical twice. Yeah, that's how good that shit was. I saw once I had orchestra level seats, and then once I was up in the balcony.
Oh
but
wow!
that shit was bomb. And then
Yo,
the
you're-
movie, I cried the whole second half.
You're a patron of the arts.
I'm a
Yes!
I'm a thespian. I'm a chespian.
Damn, but anyway, just to throw that in there. Oh yeah, because of Nightwing's origin in Titans, right? I think it's like Santa Prisca or something. That's like where Bane.
Yeah,
that's
where
from- yeah, that's
Bane's
where he's from, yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
that's
no,
where
no,
Bane's
no. It wasn't Santa Prisca.
No, because Santa
was
Prisca's like an island.
It was
Yeah.
Corto Maltese, Maltese, how they would say it, and that's an homage to Tim Burton 1989 Batman. The Corto Maltese is a fictional place. I think he created it for Batman 1989. If it wasn't like Denny O'Neil in the comic book, rest in peace. But I think it was a Tim Burton addition to the lore of Batman, and that's where Nightwing he imprisons himself. I don't know why. He just is like at some point in the season has no direction, so he decides to go to prison. Has this revelation.
No, and that's what I love about like if Rob saying like no, it doesn't suck, but like he goes to prison. I don't know
I hate the way
why.
he just gloss
It's-
over like mind blowing shit. He has no direction, so he
It
just
was
goes
one of the
to prison.
dumbest things in the
What?
and, like he was in the
I
airport,
know.
no, and then like suddenly like he says like arrest me or he does something stupid. I don't know what it was. It was so dumb.
I like that scene. But anyway, both season 1 and 2 are on HBO Max. So fans, if you haven't seen it already, show HBO Max some love and show Titan some love. That's coming out on August 24th. Is that what I saw?
Yeah,
let's
think
let's go
so.
with that. Let's go.
Yeah,
Facts.
yeah.
And tell them the LOZ sent you. We're trying to get those lifetime subscriptions.
Hell yes, exactly. And especially now because we're repping in the Heights, you can go to your local movie theater now, enjoy if you're vaccinated, but you can also just watch it from the comfort of your own home in HBO Max, which is what I'm gonna do this fucking weekend. I'm gonna watch In the Heights, and also we're gonna take advantage now that we're live on air. We're gonna see, Rod, if you liked In the Heights, bro, watch Hamilton, dude.
I know.
Word.
Yes, and
What the
I love
fuck,
it.
man?
Like, if you like that, dude.
And
Shit.
fans, just to see how interesting our dynamic as a group is, you can go back to past episodes and hear us trying to convince Rod to watch In the Heights. I mean, see Hamilton, him actively resisting. Now watches In the Heights, and he might watch Hamilton.
Yeah.
Just so people see it at work. But yeah, dude.
I wanted to ask just to get a little for the fans out there to let us know, and also just for me because I'm not 100% sure, right? Because we were talking about obviously because we're proud of who we are, fucking Latinos, hombres Latinos, and right because Rod like, born and raised in the Heights. Ches, actually, I don't know. Were you also born and raised in the Heights, or primarily in the Bronx, or
actually fuck all that nonsense? I was actually born in the Dominican Republic.
Oh, I didn't know that shit.
Yeah, I am actually. I am
Santiago,
American as it gets. San Pedro of Macorís,
also
known as
San
Pedro de Macorís. Exactly. Yeah, it's like a little town by the ocean. I was literally raised maybe like half a block away, like half a mile away from the ocean or some shit like that. Like less than 2 to 3 miles away from the ocean. Then got here when I was like 4 years old. Grew up in the Heights, met Rod's fam. Then I moved here to the Bronx, which they need to do a whole separate musical about in the Bronx.
And they explore that part of like the mass exodus of Dominicans because of gentrification from
Word.
neighborhoods like Washington Heights.
Yeah.
And then they explore that, and they also explore, like you said, like you were born in DR, then you came here. One of the characters goes through that same scenario, not to give spoilers, but it's a touching movie, and I can imagine why it might have touched a few.
I'm telling you, the one thing that surprised me the most, because I went in there, like, even I'm talking about like mad years ago when I was going to watch the music, I'm like, all right, I want to see this because I want to see how they glamorized our not so super amazing fucking place that we come from. But it has, like, like it's layered, it has its flavors, it's extremely interesting, I want to say, and complex, for lack of a better term. So when I went to the musical, I was going in there with skepticism. I'm like, they're probably gonna make us some fairy tale shit. I was like, holy crap, why am I crying halfway through this due to accuracy?
All right.
Yeah, but fuck, we digress. But you know what? It deserves a shout out, dude. Shout out to Lin-Manuel Miranda and the Miranda verse.
Yeah, the Miranda verse, dope, man. And I think it's good for the fans out there to know, get to know us a little bit more, and also for me to get to know. I did not know these things of Ches, which is actually funny because in a few months, and actually when Titan season 2 comes out, it'll be the 10 years since I've known you guys. That's when I moved to fucking New York, 2011. So August 2011. So, and I didn't know that shit. I've known you for 10 years, Ches. I didn't know where you were fucking born and shit.
And for those,
that's a decade.
Word. And for those fans wondering, yes, I am a citizen. Just in case. Listen, man, the times are crazy. Just got to make sure that's fucking thrown out there for sure. Well, and by the way, please, Mr. Lin-Manuel Miranda, do our show. If somehow you hear about the Legion on Zoom, do our show. If you like comics, it'd be epic. It'd be lit. Please do our show.
Yo, yes. And I think building off of the musicals, I think, because we love music, we love all this. So I think I want to share for today's drink of the week. We got a very fucking special drink of the week, not at all related to musicals and Lin-Manuel Miranda's work, but related to fucking metal, which is the other shit we all fucking love here. This is Blackened. This is a whiskey that was made by Metallica in conjunction with some company. Which I don't remember what it was. Just it's Blackened whiskey. And so this is their fucking bottle that I just got like today. And look how much I've been drinking. It's been a week.
It's a 2-liter bottle of whiskey, folks, and it's gone.
Right. Look at that. It's a beautiful fucking box with the Metallica fucking black album logo, which, it's the name of the drink, it's based off of the And Justice for All album, the first song of the album, Blackened. One of the best fucking songs out there. That's what we're enjoying tonight. It's a fucking great drink. And we would love to have Metallica on the show too one day or something like that. That would be dope.
Facts. Hey, Metallica, do our show.
And I see you're repping Mastodon on your t-shirt, right? You actually put me onto that band. I mean, I had known of them, but I never explored their catalog until you came and started playing it nonstop. I'm like, you hear an album enough times and it grows on you. Shout out to Mastodon.
Yeah, shout out to Mastodon, because also, and we'll be reviewing this soon in a future episode, they actually wrote a song for a comic book related event. We talked about the death metal event, but it recently, from DC's Dark Knight's Death Metal, they made an album. And there's a bunch of fucking artists that are putting music for it. Mastodon, which is what we're wearing tonight. On it too, not Metallica, but Mastodon, so fucking good. So I'm drinking Metallica, listening to Mastodon while reading comics and talking to my boys. So cheers, everybody out there, man.
Yo, that's metal on metal. You're basically an alloy. I know my fucking metallurgy. But wait, real quick, but like, because I just wanted to the fans, because in our thread that we have between us three, Miguel sent us a picture of the technology that went into this whiskey. They blasted Metallica music at the fucking barrel to get the whiskey deeper into the wood so it gets more flavor. There's no way I didn't want to not mention that. That's one of the greatest things I've ever heard.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because also like it's unique batches. I'm batch 114, and it gets you with the Spotify code. You go to Spotify and you have your unique playlist that this beautiful whiskey was listening to while it was preparing itself to be ingested by me.
Bro,
Where'd you score this magical whiskey?
What would I score it? It's actually really, it's actually good. I was honestly thinking.
No. I meant where did you get it?
where'd you get it?
Oh,
Rod doesn't give a fuck about your opinion. He wants to know where you got it.
No, but I do think, because I think, fans out there, you see sometimes it's gimmicky and you're thinking, it's probably not that good, but it's actually good. It's actually good whiskey. I recommend it, and I just got it online. I'm a big Metallica fan, so I'm under newsletter, so I got an email from them saying they had a whiskey, so I'm like, I am getting this, and it's surprisingly affordable. It was like $60. And it's a whole fucking thing, and it got shipped from, like, they have different places it got shipped. It got shipped from Connecticut, so it's like nearby. And I highly recommend it. And there was some good music on it that I can taste. Some classic Metallica tunes.
Oh, so dude, then I got a request for you then. If possible, get your hands on the Slipknot whiskey and try that shit.
Oh yeah, I do want to get that one too. Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, because that's specifically the clown, I think, right? It's the clown guy from Slipknot that he's like, all right, that's what we got to do.
Yeah, but they've all been promoting it, but still fucking just, that'd be pretty lit if you go like on a metal band whiskey, not bender, but, streak.
All right, I'm on it. Exactly. For the fans out there, we're going to try to mix this metal with fucking whiskey and fucking comics.
Facts. And now, going off an epic-ass drink and getting into some epic-ass think. That's the best that I could do right now. Let's get into fucking episode 2 of Loki, titled The Variant. Dude, this episode, like, it's weird. It was a bit, like, I've never seen the character of Loki so
Wait. Oh. I do just want to say, I think obviously for the fans out there, you're listening to this right now, it's fucking going to be spoilerific.
Oh, word.
Fuck.
Spoiler alert here.
Spoiler alert.
Okay. Yeah, so I've never seen the character in such, like, I guess, like, humble place. Like, I'm surprised at such a transition, but then I'm not surprised at how it worked out. But overall, I like how things are starting to get a bit more fleshed out, and I was surprised by the big reveal at the end of the episode. What did you guys think?
Well, I honestly, I think for me to go now, it's you guys remember last week, if you heard our episode or you're watching us on YouTube, you'll see the episode 1 review by itself. I wasn't that big of a fan of the first episode. I gave it, I think a 7 overall. This is the episode that did it for me.
Really?
I'm hooked. Now I'm into this,
Wow.
I will say I'm not as excited as I was for Falcon and Winter Soldier or for WandaVision, but I'm into it. I'm very excited about it because like I said, the first episode was a setup, right? It's because now we're into the story, right? Like now we're like, oh, okay. Like I didn't need to know what happened to Loki. I went to the theater to see what happened to Loki. Now we're fucking seeing this new experience, and I liked it. It's cool how they're trying to explain the way they work with the time, travel, and I really love especially the scenes between Loki and which Wilson? It's
Mobius.
Yeah,
right?
Mobius, yeah.
And Mobius, in terms of trying to figure out how to catch this Loki variant, right? And apparently, I think what was interesting, because I guess for the fans out there, for them to show, right, because to tell them what it was about, right? It's about him working with Mobius in terms of how to capture this Loki variant that's been killing TBAs, which is how episode 1 ended. The plot doesn't really move that much further from that, other than just like seeing the paperwork, and then a lot of character development between Mobius and Loki, their interactions, Loki trying to fuck them over a little bit at the beginning, right? Like trying the Mobius caught it, right? He's like, he's lying.
Yeah.
No, don't do what he says.
I don't know, man. This show is another mind fuck show. Like it's kind of like WandaVision. It's gonna have people making all kinds of guesses.
Word.
I mean, like there is a possibility that it is not a Loki variant, right? That they're chasing. There's a possibility that this is another ruse, that somebody's pulling on Loki to use him as a tool. And then like you always wonder whether or not Loki actually has a plan. Like if he really is 10 steps ahead of everything that TVA does, like So I like that.
Damn.
Every episode is going to have tons of questions you don't know. They're playing 4D chess with each other, Mobius and Loki, and it's variant. It's a whole shit show. And I like how they integrated like a scene where they go to Pompeii, and then
That
Loki
was awesome.
figures out that if you're in an apocalypse scenario, then you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yo, and I love that exactly, right? Because that was Loki's detective work in terms of figuring out where is this variant, right? And then realizing that the variant can hide in apocalypses because no matter how much you fuck with time, it's all going to get destroyed because it's an apocalypse about to happen, right? And by apocalypse, we mean big catastrophic events, right? So like, for example, like Rod said, Pompeii, right? And so they went to Pompeii to test it out. Then they just fucked it all up. They said who they were, like, and fucked, and it didn't change the timeline at all because, well, Pompeii, the ¿cómo se llama? Vesuvius, right? Is the volcano blew up and still killed everybody. So nothing changed. So that was really fucking cool. Also, I wanted to comment though, Rod, you said that they're playing 4D chess with each other, Loki, and I love that comment. You're right, because we did have those scenes where Loki's saying that he's 10 steps ahead, right? And he's a schemer, right? He's fucking, it's Loki. But I love that was that one scene in the elevator where Mobius tells Loki, like, what did he tell him? Like, he says something like, look, I'm doing this because I care about you, because I see a wounded kid who wants to do well, and, and this is what he wants or something, and he wants to prove that he's better than this other Loki. And then he says, or I'm just saying that to fucking motivate you because that's what you'll do. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, let's just do it. And I pick one. And I love that because that shows what you're describing, the chess piece, that Mobius could either be genuine with him about it or he's just doing it because he knows Loki. And that's what's going to get him to participate in this.
Dude, the fucking layers in this show are ridiculous. Part of me also keeps wondering is like, why didn't you just keep one of those Infinity Stones? Because you're apparently stepping out into the regular reality. You know what I'm saying? Is like, I don't think anybody would have noticed if you would have taken one. There's a bit of a loophole. It's like you took a paper clip. Like you could have taken you could have taken the time stone. Ironically enough, it's all this shit.
But if he steps into the real world, then that stone becomes anomalous and it'll trigger their devices because that's what they find. They find anachronism.
Yeah, never mind.
That gem would be an anachronism. I don't know. They could do some fuckery. It's still a possibility.
Fucking Feige, he thought about that,
right?
Yeah, and we still need to know how this Loki variant, because also I wasn't completely sure if did they tell us in this episode that there's been other Loki variants, right? Because they had this scene where they showed us different versions of Loki, which for the fans out there, they showed us actual versions that we've seen in the comic books, mostly from the Jason Aaron run recently. They showed us like a Hulk type Loki, which was illustrated once by Russell Dotterman. I actually don't know if that was actually in this comics before that, probably. But there was also like the old school biking Loki there in this holographic image. It looked so fucking dope, right? And it was obviously always funny to see Loki going like, but I'm the best one.
And I like how it kind of turns into a thing where everyone's really trying to tell him like, no, you're not the top Loki. Like, accept that. Like, for all your grandeur and dashing handsomeness, Tom Hiddleston, you're not the top Loki. But then, before we get to the reveal, we get some cataclysmic shit where clearly, like dozens upon dozens of the best way that could be described as time resetting bombs go off at the same time. So it's literally a time bomb, goes off and not really destroys, but it turned a straight line into something that looks like the human nervous system. Because that's what I was thinking as it happened. I was like, oh, shit.
Word, exactly, for the fans, because this is the scene, right, what was leading to they're trying to catch the variant Loki, figuring out what they're doing, and then they go to this apocalyptic event in the future, and in sort of near future, right? It was like 2050 or something like that, where they realize that Loki is they've been stealing all these the timeline reset things and fucking drops it all over the fucking timeline, And it starts to fucking blow up. And like you're right, Chess. It looked like a fucking just nervous system from one little river kind of thing to blowing up like that in the monitors of the TVA. He's like, what the fuck? And also like, why? What's the plan? What are they doing?
And mind you, the one thing that we're not addressing is this is like, and I just realized this now, like while we were talking about this. This is Endgame, not Endgame the movie, Endgame the concept type shit. Like, yo, you blew up the timeline. It's episode 2. What the fuck? Like, you successfully pull off something that's technically bigger than Thanos getting the Infinity Stones, which took a decade of movies. I literally just realized that right now. In 2 hours, they topped phase 1.
Wait, those time grenade bombs, right? Didn't they all get sent to the TVA?
Nah, they got sent to different points in time.
Yeah,
that's why what's it called? What, the holy time stream, the sacred timeline? It started to diverge in different so those are all different realities. Like, so
and that's why the TVA monitors were all freaking out. Like that one dude, right, that has fucked with Loki was like, what the fuck's happening? Can't believe this is all happening at the same time. Like, what to do? Yeah.
It's kind of like they were all stock traders and they saw like Black Tuesday happen. You know, like the day of the Great Depression when the whole market crashed. That's what they saw. And it's like, dude, like, if you think about it, considering what they turned the Infinity Stones into, they just topped all of phase 1 in the 2nd episode of Loki. So what the fuck is next? Like, how is this shit gonna play out?
Yo, I rewatched episode 1, right? Glorious Purpose. And there's a scene that I didn't catch the first time around, but I saw the second time around. So you know that office dude that tells Loki about all the stones and how they're used as paperweights?
Yeah.
The office guy. When he's explaining to the agents, the time agents, like what's going on with the escaped Loki, he's like, yeah, he told me he's gonna gut me like a fish, whatever the hell that is.
They didn't know what a fish was.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. What about that?
So, like, you know, he's a human man. He doesn't know what a fish is, but he's speaking in English, right? So like, is he alien? Is he a robot? Like, is he?
I'm glad you bring this up. Let's get into it. Everybody put your tinfoil fucking hats on.
Soviet time.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, well, because I've been wondering, just from a simpler standpoint, how the fuck do you become a TVA agent in the first place?
Well,
it's the same question that you just bring up.
I think in this 2nd episode, they mentioned that a little bit. The English thing, let's not talk about that, because I think that's a classic thing. It's also like, why does Loki know English, right? Why does Asgardians speak English?
They covered that, though, because
why does Gamora speak English? Like, I don't know. I don't remember. Like, actually,
no, but in this show,
not in
though,
that way. I didn't mean it in that way. Like, why they speak English in space is that he said he's in a gut. Is there the fact that you don't know what fish is, but you can speak all the words? Like, so there's just an unusual concept. But
remember that one of the agents had said in episode 1, like, don't speak whatever in front of me. I know all the languages in the timeline.
Yeah, I know that.
So they could learn shit at like infinitum. Like,
so they just chose English as their main language. Fuck that.
No, but go ahead.
Anyway,
I'm ready for conspiracies.
No. But the thing is, in the sorry. So I'm gonna provide. One is the evidence from episode 2, and then second is a theory that I just read actually right before we started recording. So because in episode 2, there's that moment when he's having this conversation with Mobius, Loki, in after lunch or something, like just on a table, and questioning, like, you just believe this, like you just believe like where you came from, right? You know, and then that's because they asked him, right, why do you like so much jet skis, right? Yeah. And he's like, you know, because jet skis were he's like, time sucks. There's so much crappy shit. Jet skis were actually a perfect thing of like fucking, what was it, like, you know, ingenuity.
It was like a perfect unification between art and ingenuity or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and he's like, I love those, like it's fine. But he then at that point kind of said that he was created by the timekeepers to be a TVA agent. And then Loki told him, like, really, is that what you believe? So you just believe that? Like, and then like he asked him, like, where are you from? And he's like, well, you know, I'm from some, you know, giants on Jotunheim, and, you know, raised in Asgard. And then so he's like, do you hear how silly that sounds? He's like, and you just believe that? So he's like, we all just believe these things too. And so it's like, that's, I think, how they're trying to explain that. You know, they kind of let us to believe. That's why nobody knows all these shit, because these are people who were created by the timekeepers, who I guess have, if they're controlling time,
they're ants, basically.
Yeah, they can probably create people like that to be there.
It's kind of crazy. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's fucking bananas. But that's what Mobius said, right? And so that might explain why the other guy doesn't know fish, because like he told Loki, like his Loki even was like, how do you not know what fish are? And he's like, well, I've lived my life in a desk, right? So that's makes sense if he was just created for that. Now, tinfoil hat on, conspiracy theory.
Damn, you didn't have it on yet?
No, because this is what was said. This is what was said in the show. You know, it's like some people are saying that these are actually people taken from different points in time by Kang.
Oh.
That Kang was one of the 3 timekeepers and then like took over or something and like fuck with them to try to make the timeline the way he wants to be.
So maybe there was 4 timekeepers instead of 3, and they got rid of Kang, and there's only like, you know what I mean? Like erase his image from a time or whatever. Maybe there used to be 4 timekeepers. And you just bring up a very valid point, because as far as them being able to create people, Rod said it was kind of crazy, but you forget that we have the Eternals on the horizon. What if, think about the scope of shit we're dealing with. What if this shit also connects with the Eternals? Because as per the comics, somebody stop me if I'm wrong, the Eternals were the people that played with human genetics to create the metahuman gene, correct?
Wait. No, the
Eternals,
the
right?
Eternals were not involved.
Or I'm thinking about like the ones that came before that. Like,
so no, you're not completely off. So it was the Celestials, right? So the Celestials are these godlike space aliens that came to Earth, and they created the Eternals, and off of like basically they came to Earth in primitive time, grabbed humans and made them, they created 2 different kinds of branches. One's the Eternals and one's literally called the Deviants, which is I don't really understand. And then they've been at war with each other and whatever. But in the comic books, apparently this is through Jason Aaron's Avengers run, which we're talking about Heroes Reborn and all that, and Enter the Phoenix, that a Celestial died on Earth way before any kind of like human life really existed, and that his like cosmic ooze or cosmic death decay led to the creation of like metagenes and like that kind of stuff, and that's why Earth is so populated with that fucking shit.
Dude, I have so it's like as he was decaying, like the rot created metahumans.
Yeah, dude.
That's epic. Okay, so then think about that. I think in some weird way, and I'm talking about right here, we're trying to zoom out to the highest levels. Like, there's no more zooming out than this. Like, we're at the back of the setting. Like, all this shit is connected. The Eternals, the Timekeepers, the Celestials. I think that's where all this shit is going, and we're going to start to see some trickles of that. Because if you think kind of where it's going, they eventually kind of have to mention the Eternals, no? Or the Celestials in some way. It seems like it's headed that way, considering what already happened in episode 2.
Yo, I want to throw a quick shout out to our boy Anley. I know he's listening right now. He's like, yo, is Mobius the renegade Loki?
Damn.
Like it's like because Loki's in this. Okay, so his goal, his reason for working for the TVA is because he wants to powwow with the Time Lords, right? And so does, I don't know. I feel like Mobius is also working toward that. I forget the conversation he's having with the judge. What's her name?
His homegirl?
It's something R something, no?
Yeah, I forgot her name, man.
Like it's, I think
I'm on it.
Because okay, what was that the mean witch's name from
Agatha Harkness?
Agatha Harkness, yeah.
Is there any chance they're gonna pull an Agatha Harkness with this, and then at the end he's really the one that the time mage manipulating all this bullshit? Like
I don't think so, because
anyway,
they showed us.
Yeah,
word facts. Shout out to Hangley.
Shout out to Random. That's what we call him. I'm like, Hanley, who you talking about? Yo, Random, good looks, man.
First, they kind of addressed that in a way when they showed us the bad variant at the end of the episode. It was a chick. It was a female. It was
wait. So we're jumping to another thing. No, but the building off of what Rod was saying, I think I like that. That's a good comment. That's a good comment, Anli. Thanks for sharing that, bro. But actually, because along those lines, I was actually thinking that the judge is not who she says she is, which is her character's name is R. Renslayer, which I just so the actress, I'm gonna butcher the name. The actor's name is Gugu Mutharah. I think she's a British British actress is what it says. That apparently I googled her character and it's a character named Ravana Renslayer, who seems to be an actual character in the comic books that I don't actually know anything about, but I need to look into that. But it's I have that feeling that maybe she's, because even for example, Mobius has never seen the Timekeepers, right? And it seems that she's the only one that has. That always feels like, I don't know, like that feels weird. It's like, nah, dude, what's up with that?
I've been getting the same vibes the way that people talk about the Timekeepers. It's kind of like, what if there really is no Timekeepers?
All right, I got a question for you guys. So the Timekeepers, the TVA, the whole space where they're at, where is it? Where do you guys think it is?
Outside of time, bro.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Speed Force in a weird way.
What if you guys? So I'm thinking, is it outside of time? So outside of time though, but it's like in the quantum realm or something like that.
There are for sure seeds for Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania being planted with all the Kang rumor about. Maybe Kang is this season's Mephisto. I don't know. Are we all gonna be Kang? Yes. Kang.
Well, I mean, okay, but here's the thing though, because even though we were dealing with magic, right, which kind of involves Agatha Harkness and which kind of involves Mephisto, bro, this is time travel. This is Kang's domain. Like, they don't do time travel, almost anything, unless there's a hint of Kang involved somehow. And shit, what bigger baddie would they be missing with so much potential and so much, what's the term, like carte blanche or some shit like that, like creative freedom? Then Kang, if you think about it, like it's only right.
Yo, word, this would be right up fucking Kang's alley, and that would be dope because then it would set it up for the next movies, right? Even the Multiverse of Madness, for the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. And I think just for that, so it's funny because Jonathan Majors, who's the actor who got cast as Kang for the Ant-Man movie, he was actually like asked this directly about like, is Kang gonna make an appearance in Loki? And he the quote is, "No idea what you're talking about," which I think
that's BS.
Bullshit.
Exactly. It's like, that's BS. There's no way you'd be that oblivious to that. Like, nope. That's BS. I think that's so preposterous that's him telling us that he's gonna appear. Like, I go total opposite. Right there, I think that told me like he's in it.
I mean, I wouldn't be so sure only because, all right, bear with me on this one. These shows are integrated into the films, right? They're one in one. They're all part of the large
same
narrative.
world.
However, WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier have both been somewhat inconsequential to the events that we're going to see in the movies. Okay, now we know that we're going to get a new Captain America movie. I'm sure they're going to explain why he is Captain America at the start of that movie. And we don't necessarily know what level Scarlet Witch is going to play or what the events of WandaVision are going to play in Multiverse of Madness. This show could be another thing where they raise the stakes without necessarily touching anything that's supposed to happen in the movies. You know, like using a variant Loki as the main character, a character that you could destroy if you wanted, because he isn't.
I'm sorry to stop you right there, actually, before you say any more, because apparently I got to double check if it was Kevin Feige or somebody else related specific to MCU studios, the Marvel Studios, is that people have already said from the business, which I think it was Kevin Feige that said that Loki is the show that's most impactful for the MCU.
You took the words out of my mouth, bro.
Yes,
the God King himself might have said that.
Yeah, so, for sure. And that's what I'm hoping for. And that's why I've told the guys this already. This is already my favorite of the three shows. Like I love it, you know, and I hope it has like big impacts. It already seems to have that. If this whole time stream thing isn't just another illusion from another another wizard that Loki's like going toe to toe with, if it is in fact himself or not, or if the TVA is legit or not.
Nah, I think with the variant dropped, though, those fucking time bombs and them shits went off. Them shits went off. And
yeah, and building off of Endgame with the time travel, and that we know that a Loki from the past got pulled. So I think the timeline and the TVA are real, and that's really happening. And when they travel in time, it feels genuine. How, because that'd be a mad epic illusion to be played with all these different people throughout different fucking in the way past and the future. So I think that's real, but I agree with maybe the TVA isn't all they say they are. And then this whole thing about the Loki variant may not be all they say it is, which we haven't talked about. So let's get into it. Like, they finally revealed to us who the Loki variant that they're hunting is, and it apparently is Lady Loki. I'm gonna add an asterisk to that to add, because I don't know, maybe I'll leave it at that. Before what were your guys' thoughts so far?
Well, I was surprised once again. It's kind of like the shock of all this almost breeds skepticism, because like the big thing happened, they showed who the variant. It's like it all feels like there's still somebody behind it. Like that wasn't who's behind it. It felt too simple for me,
especially since we see the variant taking on other bodies. That's what the confrontation is. It's Loki against, you know, Loki allegedly in the bodies of multiple people, just like that are just standing by. It just takes them over and just keeps floating from body to body. So whether or not this female is a variant, because, you know, because Loki's in the multiverse can be, you know, giants, women, whatever. So I mean, that would be cool, but I got the same impression you got, Chaz, that it's not.
Yeah, because it could even be like that the actual variant, it's the green force itself that's controlling the female variant, who's not even bad. You know what I mean? Like, this shit could be layered as fuck. It felt too simple. Like, here, boom, timeline's blown up. Here's the variant, yada, yada, yada. And this is going to be the most consequential show of them all. And it's only episode 2.
No, but that's what I love about it, right? Because I think it lets us, because now we need to know, why is she doing it, right? Why is this variant Loki doing all this, especially all that we know about the Loki that we know and love? What happened to this one, right? And you bring up a good point. Like, is she working for another Loki or Kang or something else, right? Or the green thing being somebody else controlling her? I don't think so, because that's very Loki-ish. Every time he uses his powers, it has to kind of look. And the thing too is like, so I added the asterisk is because I think she's not necessarily just Lady Loki. I think she's a mix of Lady Loki, which we've seen in the comic books that happened after Ragnarok. This was during the Michael Straczynski's with Coipel's run on Thor. Wonderful fucking run. They all died, and Loki came back after Ragnarok after dying, but he came back in the body of that epic warrior from the Asgardian warrior.
I mean, which one?
There's only Sif, exactly. Exactly. So he came back like in a Lady Sif's body, and that's why he was like Lady Loki. For a minute. And so, but there was a few things in this episode that for me made me think that this Lady Loki is actually Enchantress, which is another key character in the Asgard realm and an epic sorceress. One, she's blonde. So Lady Loki was never blonde in the comic books. Enchantress has always been blonde. And there was this one moment when she was doing this thing about switching bodies, and Loki said, "That's such a good enchantment you did." I'm like, you're fucking preparing me for Enchantress.
And her magic is green.
Exactly. Her magic is green, which is that's a great point. She's not just playing the classic, the main Enchantress who had the guy, what's his name? Keith Urban, right? Carl Urban.
Keith Urban is a country musician, right?
Carl Urban, right? Carl Urban,
the executioner.
Executioner, right?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Like he was working for Hela instead of the Enchantress, right?
Exactly. Because in the comic books, Keith Urban's what was his name? Executioner is working with Amora, the Enchantress, but there is a Sylvie Lushton Enchantress who was given her mystic powers by Loki when Loki created her as a tool for chaos in the comic books.
Damn.
So I'm thinking that's who this is. And apparently, so, like, look, I'm not lying. When this happened, the episode dropped on Wednesday. I watched the episode during my lunch, working from home, watching it. Immediately went on Wikipedia. When you Googled Enchantress on Wikipedia, it said, you know, at the first paragraph, it said, played by Sofia Di Martino version of Sylvie Lushton on Loki's Plus, and then it got deleted, and then it's not there anymore. I read it.
Oh, yo, fucking, we might have legit hit our first LOZ exclusive. For some reason, I'm all in on this theory. I'm all in. Right there. Miguel got it. That's it. We're gonna get shot.
So then it makes you wonder if it is that Enchantress, if it's that version from the comic that Loki created, which Loki created her, right? Is it the one we know? Is it some other one? Is it King? I don't know.
Or is it Mobius? Isn't that name isn't that name suspect too? Like,
yeah, because I've been thinking about that the whole time. Like, that's a pretty epic name. I mean, the one Mobius I know is the one in DC, the new god from the Mobius chair. But it's
Metron.
like the Metron who sits in the Mobius chair. But the term itself for the name Mobius is usually reserved for epic ass level beings.
Hell yes, like the French artist. There's the awesome French artist Mobius with this awesome Stan Lee book for Silver Surfer, amazing artist. But actually, not to rain on the parade, is I actually Googled about it. So there is a character named Mobius in TVA. So the TVA hasn't been such a big presence in the comic books. I think they were kind of created by Walt Simonson and during his and I think in Louise Simonson's run on Thor. And I don't know a lot about it. But apparently Mobius exists, and apparently he was very prominent during a Fantastic Four series, and it's just like that, like it's just some random white dude agent bureaucrat of the TVA, and so it's like, oh, like okay, like all right. So I know that's why I'm like, it's a too much of an epic name for such a like, just a
listen, man,
pencil pusher.
And hot on the heels of that crazy ass theory by Miguel, which honestly I think is fucking right. I'm going to say that, so after the reveal, right, they all jump, through like, well, the bad Loki, the quote-unquote main bad guy that we just got in episode 2, jumps in through a time portal. And I think at that moment, Loki realizes what's at stake, and he decides, big scheme, I'm going to faux betray the TVA so I can save everything in the end.
Oh!
I got that impression too. That Mobius may have wanted him to leap through that to follow the Enchantress.
Exactly, bro. Yo, we're
Pepes.
Facts.
Yes. Yo, right? Because it's like
not Pepe the Frog.
Yeah, that's
racist. No, not that one. No, it's like because the show ends epically like that, right? Like with this confrontation with this lady Loki / Enchantress, and she escapes, and then Loki escapes. And then it ends in such a cliffhanger that would be typically left for a season finale. Like it just brings up a good point. It's episode 2.
Yeah, like what the fuck? That's the one thing I caught is like they dumped the whole load on us. It's like, whoa, what's after this then?
Right.
Shit.
And also Loki's the best performing premiere so far. And I saw a headline, I don't know if it's true.
Yeah,
that they're gonna move their shows to Wednesday release moving forward.
Yeah.
I think the show's doing really well. I love the theme song.
I'm sure that this had been stated before, but I'm gonna say it now because I think it's actually happened now for real. Tom Hiddleston has arrived, and I know he's been Loki in the movies, but this is just Tom Hiddleston on top of Tom Hiddleston on top of Tom Hiddleston, and it's amazing. He's arrived.
He's the reason, and of course, was it Owen Wilson? What is it?
Yeah,
Owen Wilson?
Yes.
Luke or Owen?
Owen. Luke is in
Stripe
Stargirl.
C.
Yes,
okay, got it. But yeah, now if I don't know, if you had to choose, if you haven't, let's say, it's probably not the case, but if you haven't seen any of the Marvel shows yet, and you got to choose between all three, I would say hands down go with Loki, and it's because like Tom Hiddleston is just nailing it. He's great in the movies.
Yeah,
he steals every scene he's in, but in this one, I just love his showcase of it. He's like speaking Latin in episode 2. I love it.
And his hair is amazing. It's just part of the acting. Like it's kind of like Miguel's hair, but like nicer. Like
fuck you. This is beautiful hair right now. Shit.
Bro, I just compared you to Tom Hiddleston. You're on the spectrum with him.
Wait, is that the Jewish version? Tom Hiddleston?
Tom Hiddleston.
That's a variant right there.
Word, it is a variant of Tom Hiddleston.
No, is but you Tom Hiddleston a Loki variant?
Oh, damn! Pepe, no. That's mad meta. No. That's mad meta. I'm not fucking
mad meta. No.
I'm dead. That's crazy. Yeah. Fuck. You know what? That should blow my mind. On that note, I'm gonna go think about what he just said, and I'm gonna do some writing on that, and also gonna go finish fucking Sweet Tooth because we got to talk about that shit soon. People, that's coming up. So stay tuned for that. On that note. Friends, countrymen, and lovers, love you guys. Always an honor, always a pleasure. People, this is Ches.
Yo, and people, and this is Miguel. We told you Enchantress right here, live, exclusive LOC. Go Google this shit, read about it, and share the LOC love out there, people. Have a good one.
That's right. And I'm Rod. Go watch Loki episode 1 and 2 if you haven't already, and go watch In the Heights, currently playing in your local movie theater or HBO Max that we all love.
Word, and then go walk through the heights. That'd be epic. Peace.
Yeah.
Later.